You have probably already heard that a Christian woman needs to be submissive or have some kind of feminine energy. And many people understand this as silence, lack of voice, or passivity. But when we look at the Bible, we see exactly the opposite. The problem of the modern woman is not having a voice. The problem is carrying too many roles and centralizing everything, inside and outside the home, until becoming tired, controlling, and overwhelmed. Today, because of the current way of life, and yes, also because of a culture that pushed many women into managing everything, we see women leading, organizing, solving, and emotionally supporting everyone around them. This may look like strength, but often becomes a constant weight. The Bible does not present a woman without positioning. The example of Deborah in Judges 4 and 5 shows strong but healthy female leadership. Judges 4:4 says that Deborah was a prophetess and judged Israel at that time. She had spiritual authority, an active voice, and real influence. In other words, she was not a faded figure. And that is exactly why her posture teaches so much about biblical femininity without overload. First, she directs, she does not centralize. Deborah calls Barak and reminds him of what God had already commanded. Has not the Lord, the God of Israel, commanded? Judges 4:6. She does not create the mission, nor assume the role that was not hers. She aligns what had already been established by God. This is very important today because many women end up becoming the operational center of everything: decisions, emotions, spiritual and family organization. Deborah shows that wisdom is not carrying more. It is pointing each person toward their responsibility. Second, she does not compete with the masculine role. Deborah did not stay out of the war. She went, but not as an operational warrior. She went as a spiritual leader and prophetic presence. When Barak hesitates and says, "If you go with me, I will go, but if you don't go, I won't go," Judges 4:8, we see something very human. He steps back. At that moment, Deborah could have taken over everything to prove strength, but she does not turn the situation into competition. She responds firmly. She agrees to go with him, yet declares that the honor of that victory wouldn't be his. Judges 4:9. This isn't diminishment nor arrogance, it's spiritual clarity. Deborah doesn't erase herself to protect the male ego, nor does she usurp a role that was not hers. She participates in the war as a spiritual authority, not as one who takes the sword in Barak's place. Biblical femininity isn't the absence of courage, it's strength aligned with purpose, without role rivalry. Third, she uses a prophetic voice, not operational control. Deborah is not micromanaging the army. She is not controlling every detail. She releases spiritual direction. Proverbs 31:26 says that the virtuous woman opens her mouth with wisdom. There is a difference between leadership and exhaustion. Many women today live as emotional managers of the home, of marriage, and even of other people's faith. This creates excessive weight and steals the lightness God designed. Maybe you are thinking, so should a woman be passive? No. Deborah proves exactly the opposite. She speaks, guides, prophesies, and takes a stand. But she does not turn her strength into overload. If in the previous video we talked about Mary at Cana, who observed, presented it to Jesus, and delegated, here we see the complement of that truth. Mary shows how not to carry the miracle. Deborah shows how to exercise authority without assuming the place that is not yours. One teaches not to centralize, the other teaches not to compete. When a woman takes on everything, she may look strong for a while. But over time she becomes tired and rigid, not because she is bad, but because she is overloaded beyond what was designed for her. Meanwhile, the woman aligned with her biblical essence does not lose her voice. She gains lightness. She does not need to prove strength all the time. She directs with clarity. Maybe today you are living as the operator of everything: decisions, emotions, organization, and spirituality. Deborah's example invites you to something different, to use your voice to align, not to carry. Ask yourself, where are you centralizing what you should only be directing? Where are you trying to sustain what God has already called someone else to assume? Biblical feminine strength is not constant weight. it is clarity of position. And when each person occupies the right place, not only do you become lighter, everyone around you grows as well. If this message spoke to you, share it with another woman who may be carrying more than she should.